And we are active. Good morning, everybody. My name is Osa. We are playing Farming Simulator 25 on Alma, Missouri. Have a couple of little tasks to do today, and then we can swing through to May. Hey, that's a good month to go to. Okay, so what is going on today? We have absolutely nothing to do except collect all our silage bales. So the silage bales at this end of the yard will be, or this end, this end of the map will be collected, and many of them will be put into our bale shed, because unfortunately we're a little short on silage, like we were a little short on hay a couple of months ago. So, and that's why that field's empty and growing, because we needed to make some hay when it wasn't really the best time to cut the grass, but the need for hay was more important. So we did that. Now we've got a whole ton of silage bales to collect. We're down to 2.8 million, which is not the greatest thing. However, we have what's going on? Oh, I did roll. Yeah, they all got rolled. So corn got planted. We were planting soybeans at the end of last week. So I completed the soybean planting and progressed onto the corn planting. So we planted all the corn, which is good. Those fields will need to be weeded when the crop germinates, although it's not entirely unexpected. We also need to fertilize the corn. But after all that, I think, apart from feeding animals, we're kind of done until either some grass needs to be cut or it's harvest time. I am not necessarily looking forward to harvest time. It's going to be a bit of a show because I don't think we have enough harvesting equipment to get it all done in a timely manner. So there will be quite a lot of vehicle purchase. However, with 2.5 million in the bank, or almost 3 million in the bank, I think we might actually be able to afford some quite serious equipment. The general harvester I don't think is a problem. We can harvest the corn and the soybeans, and that will all be awesome. The cotton, we're going to set the whole cotton harvester off harvesting all the cotton, and just leave it to it. The cotton fields will be cleared of cotton bales when it's time to clear cotton bales, at which point that's going to be a nightmare of a job, because we have to collect the bales manually and then transport them to town and sell them. We're not going to those fields will be arable plantations, so they don't have to be cleared until winter, which is when the cotton is at best time for sale. So that all falls nicely. The corn and soybeans will harvest those, we'll collect the grains into our silos, And we'll see where we end up after that. F2. Okay, meanwhile, I'm going to jump out and see how much we've got in here. Square bales, hay, 20. See, we've only got 20 hay bales, so I might need to cook some hay bales early. I'll put another 24 silage in there. That'll put us to 60. And then, so all the rest of the silage bales will be sold. Come on. So this set, I'm going to go to the far end of the field. So there was still quite a lot of bales left in that field. But I'm gonna go up to the field close to the BGA. I think the first two had hay in. So, oh yeah, we did silage in that one. And we did hay in the top two. We were getting a little bit lower on hay in the storage, but I then figured, oh, I never actually collected the bales in the field, so yeah, that was a thing. I think this is the northernmost silage field. I'm going to drive to the next bridge, take a look in the next field. Okay, so that field is empty, so this is 2 fields of silage bales here. It's actually not that much. It's not that much in the way of only 2 fields. It's an awful lot for the number of bales we have to collect. So as I said, my plan here is to collect 24. We'll stick that in the bale storage shed. Then we'll go and collect the bales at the other 2 grass fields down by the other farm, the other yard. Oops. And sell those directly in town, so it's not going to take us, we don't have to drive as far. Having 60 silage bales does mean that these are going to last us a fair bit of time. As I said, I will be cutting that southernmost field as hay, because we've only got 20 bales of hay, so we're going to need some more. And then possibly we may cut a couple more of these fields as hay next cut as well, but that'll be a month later. Still, I'm not so concerned about feed. What I am intrigued about is what's the minimum amount of feed our pigs can live on. My plan at the moment is we'll drop some corn and some soybeans off at the yard up there. I do have the the half-pipe wagon that I can transfer feed from the the grain bin, and put them in the food trough, and then intentionally run out of grains and root veg and see if the pigs suffer from that. I was looking at the horses, and it doesn't really say that horses require all the food types. We give them hay, we give them oats. We have some very old oats on site, so that's where we're at the moment with those. We could sneak across the road through there. Now, why don't we? And all these fields got rolled as well, which is... I had both rollers going, obviously. Missed a bit there. Okay, let's take it a little bit easier around here till we're clear of the trees. Okay, go. Go, go. I mean, even for a 300 horsepower tractor, we're struggling. I remember when this equipment first came out, Mrs. Osa and I were playing on a Swedish farm. There's only a couple of fields, lots of, what do you call it? Lots of logging opportunities. But we spent our time. We had one of these, and we had a pair of Valtra A tractors, which have about 120, 130 horsepower. No front power attach, so we had to use a rear mower. And I was hauling this trailer fully loaded with no trouble at all. So that was kind of awesome. I think Farm Sim Physics has changed since then. And gravity does suck a little bit more than it used to. Excuse me. Take my tea bag out of my tea. Still having issues with the my UK pensions. We're trying to transfer it to a pension provider, so it's just a straight pension to pension transfer. But we're trying to transfer it to a provider who has US ties, so that I can more easily do things with my pension money, like withdraw it when I need to, take a pension when I need to, all sorts of things that you do when you get close to retirement age. And so what you're able to do is basically a bit like a 401k. You can do a 401k rollover, which is basically I take the money out of my former employees or employers' 401k accounts and move it to a new one. I still control all the money, but I don't have to go through my employer to get hold of my money, which if I've been employed by multiple former employers can get a logistical nightmare at times. So this is effectively what I'm doing. I've got about 3 or 4 pensions in the UK. And the idea is I just combine them all into one under one pension management company. Seems fair, except this one provider, 2 of them, we've done all the paperwork. They're all like, yep, we're ready to transfer it. The new pension management is not going to open a new account for me until everything's lined up, so they can just say, okay, here's where to transfer the money, and all the money transfers at the same time. So we don't have to be sitting around waiting for, oh, this company needs to more pay. This this last management company is a complete and utter nightmare. So we contacted them. I started this process in October of last year, where I signed up the agreements and said, yeah, we are going to do this. We're going to transfer, the money to a US UK pension management company. So they have offices in the US that I can contact, and I don't have to just jump through hoops every time I want to do something. And I actually started this process way back in August. I just signed the initial agreement documents in October to get the whole process moving. So we've tracked down all of my pensions. We've contacted the pension providers or management. And this one company, I sort of, we have some forms you need to fill out. So they sent me some forms. We fill them all out. We send them back. And it takes a month to turn around. So, okay, we think, okay, we filled those out. So let's see what happens next. The company that's managing the whole process contacted me and said, oh, did you send that questionnaire? Yeah, we sent the forms back. They're all filled out. We're waiting to hear from them. So they contact the pension company to say, okay, you've had your forms back, what's going on? And the first time they're like, yeah, we need another set of forms filled out. Ugh. Okay, so we have to wait 2 weeks further because they tell the transfer agents that we've sent off another questionnaire. This needs to be filled out. So 2 months, a month passes. We get this second question. We get that one filled out, and we sent that back 16th of last month. So it's April. 16th of April, we sent that back to them. Told the transfer agents that, we've sent the questionnaire back. So they sent me an email on the 20th of this month to say, we contacted the UK pension management company, and they said they're in the process of doing things, and we should be hearing from them soon. And that's what the information that this pension company had told them. They basically said, we've got the documents, we're looking through them. Okay, 2 days later, we get another book of forms that need filling out. I mean, we're talking half-inch thick stack of paper that needs to be filled out. 2 days after I got an email saying that they'd been told that, they were just looking through the paperwork and everything was going to proceed as soon as things... No, they'd already sent me a letter. It had been in the post. They sent the letter on the 4th of May, so it took them 3 weeks to get here. But the documents were, this mass of forms was wending its way across the Atlantic and had already been in transit for 2 weeks, and they tell the company, we're just looking through the forms and seeing if there's anything else we need. You lying bastards. You'd already looked through the forms and you decided you want me to jump through more hoops and fill out another bunch of forms that pretty much ask the same damn questions as the first two did. So I now have a stack of forms and I have to fill them out. So fun weekend here at what is it, Memorial Day weekend, I'm going to be filling out a bunch of forms for a stupid pension company that doesn't want to give me my money. I have a suspicion that the reason they don't want to give me my money is because the Labour government really wants my money because it's in a pension, and they don't want money leaving the country because my pension is something they can spend on some bullshit crap in the UK that doesn't really benefit anyone. So we'll get to see what's happening there. But as it is now, I've got to fill out a bunch of forms. Can't post them till at least Tuesday because post office is closed, and it's so damn heavy that it's going to take special, you got to mail it to, you've got to weigh it to put the correct mail postage stamps on it in order to get it sent. Needless to say, I'm not particularly happy with these people. I had enough problems with my old bank account over there. Used to have a bank account with the Abbey National, and they were okay. But they were, during the banking crisis, they were bought out by Santander. And Santander are a complete bunch of a-holes when it comes to customer service. And it's like, oh, you need to fill out a form every year telling us what you're doing. Why? It's all you're doing is you're looking after my money in a bank account. And they did that for about 5 years. And then it was like, oh, now we're going to start charging you just for having a bank account here. At that point, I was like, done. I will close my bank account. You don't need to charge me anything. And even closing the bank account was an absolute nightmare. It's like, no, we don't want to lose you as a customer. Yes, you do. You're making it completely untenable for me to be your customer because of all the hoops you make me jump through every year just to hold a couple of £1,000 in a bank account in the UK. So you don't want me. Yeah, bottom line, you don't want me as a customer. And the fact